let's go take a look at your spine line. And we've had people question us before. They're like, spine line, what is that, and what's that got to do with palm reading? Well, I'll tell you, back when Kat was getting her master's degree in health education, she'd run across a book called Medical Palmistry, and it was written by a medical doctor that his name was Eugene Scheiman, Dr. Eugene Scheiman, and he talked about how you can see all these different health-related things in your hands, and he talks about how you can see the spine in your hand. Well, Kat did a lot of research over many years, and this is what we've got as far as what we can see in the hand. So, how we section this off is we draw an imaginary line right down here, and this is your cervical spine, that neck area. Then we go from this area to that area, and this whole section coming across those two fingers is your thoracic spine. And then we get into that lumbar spine, and then down into that coccyx and sacrum, that very like that little tailbone, and that's how that works. So let me pull up this image right here. So that's your cervical spine, your neck area. Let me pull that up just a little bit. So that's that cervical spine, the thoracic that goes over those two fingers, and then down in that lumbar, sacrum, and coccyx. And what these markings show in the hand is whenever you have little triangles, like you can see right here, see little triangles right here, or little islands in the lines. Actually, you know what? Let's pull up this other image. I think we can see that. Oh, no, we can actually see it better in the image we were looking at. So, but you can see these little triangles, like right here. And whenever you have those, what that's an indication of is an issue in that spine. And it doesn't have to be a serious issue. Just it could be just that the vertebrae are turned out of place a little bit. It could be it. You see, you said your health's okay. A lot of times they can be turned out of place, and we don't even know it. We don't feel pain or anything emanating from a spine that's out of place a little bit. But it just means that signal to all the different parts of our body isn't getting there 100%. So, like I say, if you feel fine, it's not a lot to worry about. But if sometimes you just don't function quite well, and we really do put a lot on how we feel during the day. If you don't feel well, you don't do well. You don't accomplish your goals. You don't have your mind 100%. So this is something that we have a lot of people pay attention to. All right, let's pull up that spine chart again. And so what we've seen in your hand is got some little issues there, right there in that neck area, kind of all the way down that neck area. And with the way we work on computers nowadays, we're always kind of bent over looking at these computers or our smartphones, and that plays havoc with that neck. But then this section down here, all the way down to 4T, shows that you could be out of alignment a little bit. Like I say, where you didn't say if you had any issues with that spine, if you have any damage or anything like that with the discs or the vertebrae, that could be an indicator why that has those little triangles on that spine line. And then it shows you're just kind of out all the way down through your whole back, that 8T down to 11T, and the 12T down to the 3L. That's that lumbar region, your hip region. And then the 4L all the way down to the sacrum and coccyx. Sometimes we can get that little tailbone out of whack, like if we come down on something hard and it can spin it out, or it can get twisted a little bit, where that little tailbone is just not sitting right. And that can also play some havoc in the way that we get that signal down from the brain. Now if you go over to the right here, you'll see the areas column, and that'll show you the parts of the body that are affected when we're out of place in that spine. And then over here the effects will show you what kind of symptoms we can have. Now when we looked in that hand, and we'd seen these little vertebrae out here up in that top part, and especially down here into that 2T and stuff, where we'd seen little triangles coming off of your heart line. And we said there's a little tiny bit of stress on that heart. That's that 2T area right here. And that can lead to a little bit of chronic fatigue, a little bit of anxiety sometimes. And then where you've got that out in the top part there, that can cause a little bit of depression sometimes, especially when you get that 1C, that 7C, and that 2T out. That can cause a little bit of anxiety. So you can look over here in the effects and see if you have any of those types of symptoms there, and that'll show you what's going on here. And I'll tell you what we usually suggest is to get into a good chiropractor, or even better yet, a good physical therapist, and see if they can't kind of get that realigned and get that energy flowing correctly down through that spine, especially where you have this 1 and 2C out of place. You want to find somebody that knows craniosacral work, and what they'll do is they'll go into the roof of the mouth and they'll adjust those little plates, and that just releases all that energy to come down 100% and a lot more efficient. So we get that full signal out to all the parts of the body.